Good morning, boys. I welcome you to the 9th standard biozoology class. Till last video, we discussed up to the phylum Arthropoda and its characteristic features. Now it is a continuation of a classification of animal kingdom. Now we will discuss about the characteristic features of phylum Mollusca. You all know that Mollusca is also known as soft-bodied animals. So what are the animals are included under the soft-bodied animals? So you see the snail, Phyla globosa, and octopus. See, you know the characteristic features of octopus. It is the very intelligent animal among all the invertebrate animals. That we shall discuss. The soft-bodied animals, Mollusca, exclusively live in marine and freshwater. Some are terrestrial habitats. See, terrestrial means the members of this group are able to live both water and on land. Water can be classified into two types on the basis of its salinity. One is marine water, another one is fresh water. Some members of this group can live in marine and fresh water as well, and some of the members of this group can live on land, so they are called as terrestrial form. And next, the body is bilaterally symmetrical. You know that the plane of arrangement of organs along the central axis, along the main axis, such type of symmetry is called as a bilateral. Around the central axis, it is called as a radially symmetrical. Here, this group of animals can live in water and on land. The organs are arranged along the central axis of its body. Therefore, the body symmetry is bilaterally symmetrical. There is no segments. Segmentation is absent. Then the body is divisible into three important parts. One is head. Another one is muscular foot. The third one is visceral mass. A head, say eyes, antennae, and other mouth parts are present in the head. Then muscular foot, you all know that foot is meant for locomotion. Suppose if the animal wants to move from place to place, it can move from one place to another with the help of its muscular foot. Then the visceral mass, you all know that the entire body is covered with a fold of thin skin, say a thin skin which is covering the entire body of this molluscan animals. The fold of thin skin of the molluscan animal is named as mantle. See, what is the purpose or what is the function of this mantle means? Mantle is a secretory structure which will produce a calcareous substance. This calcareous substance is the base or cause for the formation of outer shell, calcareous shell. Now you see, the entire body is covered with a fold of thin skin called mantle, which secretes the outer hard calcareous shell. Right. The next characteristic features. See, I told you, this group of animals can live in water as well as on land. How do they respire? Here, when this animal lives in water, it can respire with the help of their special type of or unique type of lung, that is gills. Gills are the respiratory structures of the aquatic animals. So the gills are named as ctenidia. Some of the animals of this group can live on land. When they live on land, they can respire only with the help of their lungs. So gills and lungs are the respiratory organs of this group. Then how this animal reproduce the young ones of their own kind? The sexes are separate with the larval stages. During development, here this animal reproduces the young ones of their own kind by sexual method. Example of this group of molluscan form is Gordon snail and octopus. Garden snail, sometimes a marine snail, or the octopus are the well-known example of this group mollusca. Then you should know some special features of octopus. Octopus is the only invertebrate that is capable of emotion. See, this is a very highly intelligent animal among the animals of invertebrates. See, suppose if the human beings are not occupying the entire earth, after the human beings, suppose the human population is going to be extinct in the near future for some or other reasons, that time the entire world is occupied by the octopus because of its intelligence. So, it is the animal capable of emotion, empathy, cognitive function, memory, self-awareness, personality, and even relationships with the humans. Some speculate, some imagine that without humans, octopus would eventually take over place as the dominant life form on the earth. So, what do we understand from this? Say, octopus, even though it is found in the group of molluscan forms, it is a very highly intelligent animal. See, in the absence of human, the entire world may be occupied, may be dominated by the octopus. How the octopus is going to rule the entire world means because of its intelligence. So this is the only high intelligence animal in the invertebrates. The next phylum of invertebrate is phylum Echinodermata. Echinos means spiny, derma means skin, spiny skinned animals. See, these animals are found only in seawater. See, if you go to Rameswaram or when you go to any other seashore or the places near to the sea, there you can see a star-like appearance an animal gets. Therefore, that animal is named as a starfish, a common name. But the scientific name of this starfish is Astreas rubens. See, these animals are exclusively free-living marine animals. They are triploblastic and true coelomates. You know that triploblastic, the body wall is composed of 3 layers, outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and these 2 layers are separated by the mesoderm, which is found in the middle of this ectoderm and endoderm. You know that. And true coelomates, see, the body cavity is filled with a fluid. The fluid filled body cavity is originated from the mesoderm. So that mesodermal origin of body cavity, which will separate the digestive tract and the body wall. So all the animals which are found in this group are true coelomates or eucoelomates with the organ system grade of organization. Say it has a number of organs. So each organ involves to do the specific function. Finally, all the organs are united to form an organ system, and that will perform a common function. Then adult animals are radially symmetrical because the plane of arrangement of organs are found along the side of the central axis of the in larval form. Therefore, larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. But the plane of arrangement of organs are found across the central axis of this animal in adult form. Therefore, adults are radially symmetrical. Then the unique feature is the presence of fluid-filled water vascular system. See, water vascular system is the characteristic feature of this phylum Echinodermata. Then this animal locomotes, that means this animal swims because they are exclusively marine form. They live only in seawater. How do they locomote from one place to another, or how do they swim in the marine form? With the help of their feet, namely tube feet. Tube feet are the locomotor organs of echinoderms. Then the body wall is covered with spiny hard calcareous ossicles. Say I told you, echino means spiny, derma means skin, spiny skinned animals. The entire body is covered by the spiny hard calcareous ossicles. Therefore, the skin of this animal is somewhat hard and rough and tough in nature, so that it can be easily protected from other animals when the other animals are coming to attack them. Right? Example of this echinoderms are starfish and sea urchin. Right? So these are informations about the phylum Echinodermata. Now we are going to discuss how gradually the invertebrate animals are transformed into the vertebrates. There are certain group of animals are having characteristic features partly invertebrates and partly vertebrates. Such group of animals are called as hemichordate animals. Listen. Phylum Hemichordata, which means animals which are possessing the characteristic features partly invertebrates and partly vertebrates. The invertebrate characters are also called as non-chordate characters. The vertebrate characters are also called as chordate characters. Now we listen. Hemichordates are marine organisms with a soft vermiform, worm-like. Vermiform means worm-like. And unsegmented, there is no segmentation in the body. They are bilaterally symmetrical. I know that the plane of arrangement of organs are found along the sides of the central axis. Therefore, bilaterally symmetrical. Coelomate animals, true coelom is present, and non-chordate, that means the invertebrate and chordate features, and they have certain characteristic features of chordate animals. They have gill slits. Say mostly they are marine, they are living in water, therefore they respire only with the help of their gills, right? They have gill slits but do not have notochord. You have to understand that it is the hemichordate animals which exhibits both the characteristic features of non-chordates and chordates, but there is no notochord. Characters are found, but in the absence of notochord. Right? They are ciliary feeders because they have cilia in the periphery of the body of these animals, but when the cilia beats in water, it forms a water current to suck the food from the water into the body of organism. So ciliary feeders and mostly remain as tuberculous forms. They are tube living, right? Tuberculous forms means they are inhabiting or they are living in the tube-like structures. For example, Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus is an example for hemichordata. It has no notochord, but it exhibits both the characteristic features of invertebrates and vertebrates. Next, it is followed by the chordata phylum. Phylum chordata, the group of animals which are possessing the notochord in its body. Therefore, such group of animals are classified as chordata, right? Chord, notochord, right? That we will discuss in the next video. So, thank you very much for attending this video. Once again, you'll have the remaining parts of this lesson in another video. Thank you.